I guess. It's a dick move to give unsolicited criticism on someone's story. I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Not to worry, I promise I will live up to, nay, exceed your expectation. Now then, if you excuse me, I better tell Master right away. You guys all hear that? I'm not usually in the habit of eavesdropping, but I simply couldn't help but overhear in this case. Hey, it's not your fault he didn't even notice we were here. Anyway, this explains why he has been so quiet during the filming so far. I guess in one sense he is feeling more pressure than any of us. Anyway, I guess we can just wait for Tristan to present his idea for the conclusion to Master. In that case, maybe I'll have a little fun myself. What are you thinking, Arash? I'm glad it happened to overhear that. I might just be able to tie everything together after all. I still need to live up to Queen Marie's expectations, so what would No. What did Antonio do? Maybe, just maybe. Master, I need to talk to you. What's up, Tristan? I believe I have found a way to bring this movie to a satisfying conclusion. Just give me, let's say, 30 minutes to collect my thoughts. Okay, just don't take too long to collect your thoughts, Tristan. On the second thought, make it an hour, just to be safe. Is this true? You've been stealing my thunder this far, so I plan to make sure at least I go out with a bang. That sounds great. I can't wait to see it. Okay, let's let everyone else know. I am pretty sure everyone else knows at this point since they were eavesdropping the conversations that Tristan, Holmes, and Anderson were talking about. Alright, time to come up with something that will blow everyone else away. Remember this day, my fellow knights of the Round Table. Today's the day Sir Tristan Knightley, detective, bursts into the scene. All I have to do now is decide on the culprit before the hour is up. I'm counting on you, future me. I haven't seen Tristan that excited in a while. I guess this means we have done filming soon. Looks like that. After editing the footage we got so far, I see we've got about an hour worth of movie that we can. So we need to find a way to end the story in about 30 minutes, no matter how many possibilities we leave on the cutting room floor. At least Sir Tristan looks like he has a good idea up his sleeve. He's a poet at heart, right? So I think he'll come up with something that appeals to the wide audience. You're really enjoying this, aren't you, Doctor? Well, of course. I've been monitoring the whole thing on my end, too. I don't think I'm enjoying it quite as much as you, since you're the one actually feeling everything. But I've still been having a blast watching the whole production from start to finish. It is a shame that I haven't been able to see you in action, since all the footage is from your perspective. But I figured Marsh can fill me in on that side of things once you all get back. Still, the way things are now, it might not be all smooth sailing. Well, nothing is smooth sailing in this production. What do you mean? Don't you think the characters are still in danger? Only if Sir Tristan's idea turns out to be something violent. No, I have a different concern. I suspect the rest of the cast might be thinking along the same lines as him. For everything I've seen so far, they all gotten really into their roles. So it's only natural that they want all their characters to be the star of the show and come out on top. I expect that is the true for you too, Mash. Am I wrong? Are you secretly hoping that Rennisty gets to enjoy the spotlight too? Well, yes. I would like to record Senpai's valiant figure on film for prosperity. Right. So the real work for resolving this singularity is just the beginning. Rennisty, I'm guessing it won't be long now before you have each other actor speaking up with their own ideas about how the film should end. I'm sure they'll all be interesting in some way. John might even try to bully you into going to her ending. Seems like a bad idea, like John. But no matter how good they are, you can't use all of them. A movie can only have one ending after all. So, as their master, you're the one who's going to have to choose. There is no right or wrong answer for this movie, and I am sure each actor ideas for the ending will have some core truth to it. So I'd like you to think about what sort of movie you want to film before you make your decision. That'll be the answer to this singularity, and I think satisfying the light director's spirit will also help us get a better reward. Alright. Okay, so section 9. Let us do this. I rushed script print? Oh god. Hey Master! Can I talk to you both for a minute? I got an idea I wanted to share with you. Here we go. Where is this coming from? Well, I was just thinking of minding my own business when that idea struck me. I know that we can't use the Paro's original idea now that Vargas is dead. But if you just tweak it a little, I think you can still bring it back to life. You know, like a phoenix. ... You dare talk pity on me? If so, I'll burn you to ashes on the spot. But I can see that I need not worry. Very well! Say your piece. How do you want to bring Vargas back to life? He's pretty definitely dead in the last scene. Especially since I was the one that pronounced him dead. Oh, I get it. You're saying we make Ryoma a liar. No, nothing like that. I'm not talking about Vargas himself coming back to life. And Ryoma wouldn't have any reason to lie. At least I don't think he would. Normally one look of my clairvoyance would reveal how things play out. But since this is a odd singularity, the usual rules don't apply. So, what is your idea of yours? It is simple. Suffice it to say, I want to honor both you and Murasaki wishes for the characters. Or character. It's not exceptional, but I think a lot of people would be willing to accept it. In one sense, unveiling it here will be the first time it works out perfectly. How much longer do you intend to keep me waiting? Hurry up and get to the point! Haha, sorry about that. Okay then, here's my idea for what it's worth. First off, let me ask you something. Do you remember what Murasaki told you back when she explained our characters to us? Of course, that time the beautiful woman told me. Now I understand. What an amusing idea you have come up with, Archer. Farah Ozymandias, can I ask what's going on? Heh, it would be uncouth of me to reveal it. Yes, I see. Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! If there was a joke in there, I'm sure as hell I missed it. I remember what Murasaki told us about our characters too. She said you two were the princes of the old Nadia kingdom, and his attendant. Oh, now I get it. So that's your game. Ah, already figured out, huh? Yep, you got it. Sorry I couldn't come up with anything better. I'm sorry, Raj, but I still don't understand. Can you tell me what you're talking about? I'm thinking what he's probably talking is that since there are two princes and a attendant, so maybe you can make what that died was the attendant and the servant is actually the prince. You're really kind, aren't you, Missy? Okay, let me say this again. Murasaki told us that we were the prince and his attendant. So far, I've been playing the attendant, and the power has been playing the prince, as you expect. Right? Oh, you mean... Haha, I sure do. Now that Vargas is dead, I thought, what if we turned that around? I could be the prince, and the pharaoh could be my attendant. It'll be a huge plot twist. 10 years ago, after barely escaping the attack on the palace, the prince and his attendant worked hand in hand to survive, and eventually growing up to be pairs of fine young men. Though they didn't think the prince was a wanted man, they could never be completely sure. So they pretended that their relationship was the inverse of his true nature, to better hide the prince's identity. Pretty much. Alright, for the moment, let's say we go with this. How do you explain what happened with Garbea and Salazar then? Not to mention we still have to fit the portrait painter in all of this. Oh, that was just me kinda babbling. We can cut it out. No, don't worry. We got something in mind for that too. We could make it so that Salazar always wanted to kill the Vargas, and that was why he poisoned the glass. But the result was Garbea ended up being the one who took the poison glass. When his attempt failed, Salazar tried to take a more direct approach to killing Vargas once they were alone, only to die in the process. But why would Salazar do such a thing? I can't see his motive could be... That's easy, because he was ordered to. But Salazar worked for Garbea, didn't he? Not only he did fail to kill his target, he ended up almost killing his master. On top of that, he got himself killed when he tried again. Pretty pure skill for assassin, don't you think? Well, given how he brought it when he did, I don't see how we get around that. Hey now, I'm not so crude as to make Garbea out to be the bad guy here. That's to be someone else. Someone you never expect. Are you talking about me? Huh? True, I suppose having the detective be the culprit would be quite a surprise. Oh no. I'm still not ready to play the cool and collect the villain. That's like a great idea too, but no. That's not what I have in mind. I'm so embarrassed. I noticed this when I was watching the footage. After we recorded the first scene, Murasaki only told two of the actors that the roles were over. Old Man Tajima and Izo. But she never said that to Moriarty. Oh, now I get it! Since Moriarty's part in the movie wasn't over, Murasaki must have been planning to have his character come back, right? So you're saying Miguel was alive all along? Then what gives with the funeral? No, wait. It was Salazar who ran the funeral. As Miguel's loyal servant, he would surely have no issue aiding his master's fate, his death. Sure, I have no idea why Murasaki might have wanted Moriarty's character to stick around. I'm just choosing to believe she did so because it will make my deal work even better. Perhaps she merely wanted to keep me around as a production assistant. She might have also planned on filming a flashback scene. Either way, I think it's a great idea. That would mean the portrait painter is Miguel. Looks like you got me. You seem pleased for yourself. Well, of course, it's been long since I got to play the mastermind. Of course, it's been too long since I got to play the mastermind. Well, maybe not all that long. Even after he retired, he would still be the new nation's founding hero, so he would have retained his vast influence. But that doesn't mean that the Republic of Narinia's political situation was stable. There were surely some factions who saw Miguel not as a hero, but as an obstacle. I see, so the threat of assassination must always been looming over his head. Thus he planned to fake his death, to remove himself from the spotlight, while continuing to rule behind the scene through Gabriella. But then the Lost Prince and his tenants suddenly showed up at the Meihousou, endangering everything he had planned. Miguel did not know if they were here by coincidence, or to seek revenge. Either way, he decided to take care of them before they could discover anything that might truly jeopardize his plans. And that is why Miguel ordered Salazar to kill Vargas, and who he thought was the prince. The last part of my deal involves Garcia confronting Miguel directly in his hidden chamber, inside the Meihousou. Anyway, that's basically what I've got. What do you think? I guess you could say it's my amateurish attempt at solving this mystery. You're welcome to use it as it is, punch it, or just toss the idea out of the whole cloth. Although, if you do decide to go with it, I'll let you film a side of me I don't usually show anyone. Aw, Rosh. Okay, section 10, Sakumo Ryuma's script pitch. Yep, let's do this one next. Sakamoto Ryuma's script pitch. Now that Arash has shared his idea, would you mind if I went next? Go ahead. By all means, go right ahead. I'll be the one who decides the real ending, no matter who else goes before me. You can say that now, Tristan, but I'm pretty sure any other ideas could be better than yours, but you can always be hopeful. Thanks. Okay, here's what I got. I've been thinking about why Ryuma came here, and what he hoped to accomplish. Ryuma used to serve the nation's military and report directly to Miguel himself. He surely had plenty of official avenues for success if he hadn't chosen to pursue them. But instead, he chose to leave and practice medicine in a small town, even though the work of creating a new country had been much more interesting. Good point. It sounds like he must have been sick and tired of war by then. Exactly. So that probably means Roman wouldn't want to see Miguel again if he couldn't help it. Cause that would only bring back painful memories for him. That would be my guess too, but despite all that, he still chose to attend Miguel's funeral. He must have some reason for that, and I don't think it had anything to do with money. Given how close he was to Miguel, Ryoma would know more about Cortez's legacy than anyone other than Miguel himself. Right, and there is more than the legacy than just treasure. It also packs with all kinds of sensitive documents. I think Ryoma wanted to find it because he believed it contains the truth about his friend's disappearance. If it turns out that his friend was actually living a happy life somewhere else, great. And in the more likely event that he wasn't, at least he would have some closure. He can't turn to the police since the unstable government still had his hands full maintaining order and developing a new nation. So he decided to slip Gabriel a drug. And to take advantage of his assuring investigation to explore the Meihousou to look for the Cortez legacy. So then, how did he get the drug into her drink? Good question. Of course, it would be impossible to make sure she didn't choose the right glass. Especially since, as the host, she would eventually end up with the last one. So here's what I'm thinking. Gabrielle was already peak exhaustion thanks to being far outside of her comfort zone for so long. Her glass wasn't actually poison. The wine she drank was just a straw that broke the proverbial camel's back. Roman figured out this after a quick examination and thought of a way to take advantage of her unconsciousness. He pretended to give her an antidote while actually giving her a powerful sedative. As a doctor, there is something only I could have pulled off, don't you think? I guess. However, Ryoma didn't account for Salazar going berserk. Does it mean you're not going to have Salazar and Daiso secretly be the same person? Definitely not. Izo lived and died by the sword. It was everything to him. There is no way he wouldn't keep up his training, even if he lost all of his memories. I don't think I have the heart to remind you, Ryoma, that Izo and Daiso aren't actually the same person. Like Ara said in his own idea, I think we can safely assume that Izo's role in this movie is over. You're just embarrassed to perform with Izo's face to face, aren't you, Ryoma? Or you. It's not that, or you, and please just don't pop out of nowhere like that. You scared me! Besides, Izo's not the kind of person who would just do something like that. At worst, he could just flip out and ruin the whole production. That's just one reason not to bring him back. But I still have to justify his presence in the story. When Murasaki first explained my character to me, she said that Ryoma Kurushiki was a sensei, a third-generation Japanese immigrant. And I'm not alone. This country is home to a relatively large number of people with similar backgrounds. Izo's character's full name is Donzo Oka. Needless to say, it's also a Japanese name. Munenori's character was named Ryotan. His last name might be a Chinese, or it might have originally has been the Japanese name Tani, changed during immigration. These names might be simple, but they still follow definite rules. Even my character's family name, Kurushiki, was present in real life. I think Nightfall Stone or something. Pretty much, yes. Anyway, given that our characters were all named to match our ethnicity, Why didn't Murasaki do the same for hers? Oh yeah, I was wondering why she named her character Gabrielle too. So my theory is that Gabrielle is actually Danzo's younger sister, and Miguel's changed her name when he took her in. Though I admitted that might be a bit of a stretch. The audience would just have to use their imagination to fill in the gaps, I guess. Okay, here's the thrust of it. We know from earlier scene that Roman got his hand on some top secret documents. It didn't give him that much thought during that scene, but I think I got a good idea from them now. Oh ho! It looks like someone's getting quite accustomed to improvisation. What if they were a reporter detailing how Danzo died? It's not as though you actually read what they say. How would you handle that aspect? Well, I do have one possible scenario in mind. I think Danzo is the kind of guy who would go down swinging, making sure to take as many enemies with him as he could. But if he died in the blaze of glory like that, Roman would have long since heard about it, right? And if he already heard of it, he wouldn't have to come all this way looking for his answers. So if he did die quietly, that would eventually mean an incredible skilled swordsman must have killed him in secret. And I could only think of one character who fits that bill. Oh, you mean General Tan? From Miguel's perspective, both Tan and Danzo were forces to be reckoned with, who could turn him at any time. So naturally, he wanted them to take each other out. That seems like to be much easier said than done. True, General Tan didn't seem like any one fool, and I doubt he would fight without a good cause. Yes, well, considering who played him, I am not surprised you came all the way with that impression. So if one of them were going to challenge the other, it would be Danzo, and it seemed like he'd be a lot easier to manipulate, don't you think? If we film it, imagine that scene could go something like: killing General Tan, and I swear on my life that I will see your sister cared for and protected. Then they fight and end up killing each other. I see. That seems like it would tie up all the loose ends. Not to mention it sounds exactly like something more Miguel would do. Good heavens! Could at least be a touch kinder to me. Dylan at my age have surprisingly thin skin. True to his words, Miguel took Danzo's sister and raised her to be a proper lady. But then he broke his word and married her. And Danzo have known this would happen, he would probably have gone absolutely nuts and cut Miguel down on the spot. Eep! So what happens now that Ryoma knows the truth? Is that the end of the story? Nope, not just the halfway point. Does Ryoma seem like the kind of person who just pack his bags and leave after finding out what really happened? I don't think so. No, the real question is what he does after he learns the truth. Now then, Venice Lead. I see this is much the same as Raj did. In other words, I think Miguel is alive and biding his time somewhere inside this mansion. But now, he's panting after losing his pawn, Salazar, in an unforeseen accident. So Ryoma asked Garcia for help. He suspected that Garcia knows his way around the monster as well. And above all, he knows Garcia's desire to revenge Vargas is genuine. Working together, they managed to find Miguel's hideout. But when they came to confront him, he only has one thing to say. And that is... So, what happens next? What happens next? Isn't it obvious? Anyway, I don't know if we're going to use this idea or not. It's honestly embarrassing to lay out like this. But if you're going to go with it, I plan taking it real seriously. Anyway, I hope at least mull it over.